So I'm Miles Bubbett, and I have 2 dogs. I have Reggie, he's a Shepherd Spaniel mix, and Rue, another, we think, Spaniel Border Collie mix. Got them both from a shelter, one in Columbus and one in New Philadelphia. Had Reggie for about 3 years and Rue for about 1.5 years, and they're just a lot of fun to hang out with. When we had our first dog, Reggie, we had him for about 2 years, and then he was attacked, a pretty nasty attack. And so my wife and I tried a couple of different options. We were looking around at trainers to try to help us handle some of the leash aggression that came after his recovery. And eventually we started taking our dog to Stay, and we found out that Stay used through the leash to train. So we started, reached out to John directly and started doing training sessions with Reggie first. Worked with John and Reggie for a handful of months. Then once we got Reggie to a place where we felt he was confident to bring another dog into our family, we did.
Hi, I'm Ellen. The most important thing that I think we've learned through the Leash is how to communicate with our dogs and knowing kind of more of how they think. Before, we were using a very human approach, but dogs think so much differently, and now that we know how to communicate, we can get them to do what we want, and we have a better relationship with them.
I'd say part of the problem we had when we first started having problems with the leash aggression with Reggie is that we knew the message we were trying to send to him, that he needed to trust us and look to us instead of take care of the problems himself, but we didn't know how to communicate that to them. So after working with John, he helped us work through ways to communicate with our dog, and that just helped us so much. Big changes in Reggie's behavior now. He's much more relaxed in stressful situations, and we feel like we could take him anywhere.
My biggest fear going into this was my dogs would be robots, and they would just like stop and playing and being goofy, but it's different. They know when they can play and they know when it's time to chill. So anytime we have guests over, if they're getting irritating, we just put them in mat and they go to mat. But they still know, like, hey, we have a time to play. This is just temporary. So that's been a big tool that we've been able to use with them. I mean, in a good way, Reggie's been a lot chiller, but as far as like losing their energy or whatever, which don't expect that, they will still have it, they'll still be goofy. But he trusts us, they both trust us a lot more. We originally didn't think we needed it because we had Reggie, he was a puppy, he was socialized, he was doing great. But then after he got attacked, we were like, we need something bigger. Now though, I think any other dog we get, all of our friends that get puppies, I'm like, you need to start this relationship as soon as possible. We actually just recommended John to one of our friends and they trained yesterday, so we love them. And with Rue, we got her, John was here the next day, so definitely recommend them.